1 minute.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another exciting meeting at Interpersonal Toastmaster. At Interpersonals, it's always about you and your growth. And we have something to celebrate in our club today. It's 250th meeting. It's all about success trivia. Let me invite the Toastmaster of the day, the lady. Whenever I see her, it is just peace, peace, peace. DTM Susan, the stage is yours as a Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much. So a few weeks ago, I gave a presentation on goals, looking ahead, planning those goals, writing them down. And now I would like to celebrate some of the successes for this club. And I'm going to start off with a presentation and a little bit of trivia so we can get to all be familiar with our club. So the very first thing is, can you see my screen? Yes? Are you able to see it? Good, perfect. So how many of you know when this club was started? Any hands raised? I know Raghu probably knows, but I'm going to share with you. Our club was known as ITU, International Technical University, and they charted on August 1st with 39 members. Wow, it's completely blew me away. But we've changed our name. We're now Interpersonal. Do we know when that occurred? Hands up. Anybody know when that occurred? Just last year, 2022. I don't remember the month specifically, but ITU Toastmasters changed its name to Interpersonal Toastmasters because that's what we do. We have interpersonal relationships with one another, and we're kind, and we're across the globe. One more question. Do you know how many Toastmasters have belonged to this club? Well, we started with 39, and over the years that we've been in process, there have been over 91 new members that joined and passed through the doors. That brings us up to over 130 different Toastmasters who have enjoyed being members of this club. I'm going to share some successes. Toastmasters International has a program called Beat the Clock. Means get 5 new members or reinstated or dual members by the end of June. It's from May and June. And in the very first year that this club existed, they earned the Beat the Clock. Congratulations. Now, in the President's Distinguished Club, we need 10 goals, 9 out of the 10 goals, and our club has not received that award, not yet, but I believe that we can do it this year. I know that we're on track to do that. The next level is Select Distinguished, meaning 7 or 8 of the 10 goals. They are educational goals, they are administrative goals, they are goals to make sure that our officers are being trained and that we're getting new members in. And we earned that last year, first time as Select Distinguished. The distinguished level is when you make 5 or 6 of the goals. And I'm very happy to say that this club earned it twice. First, in the very first year of the club in 2017, and then again in 2020. It took a little while, but we did it again. I would like to now share the status in a picture. I like charts. I like charts to share. Each of the years, we started with 39 members. The membership at the end of the year, however, is what counts towards distinguished. They need to either be 20 or a 5 growth from where we started the prior year. And as you can see, new members, we're getting new members every year, 19, 9, 7, 18, 9, 23, this year even 6. And the number of goals that have been completed, we are well on our way. Now, I put a little star during this particular year because since we started with more than 20, we need to be at least at 20, but that's by June. This is a status as of January, and I know that we can do this, but it takes your help to bring us there to do this. I am going to share that our officers are currently working on a club success plan to help you, the members, grow and earn your growth within this club. And we're working on it. And my officers, please stay afterwards about 15 minutes. We're going to continue to talk about this distinguished club program. And I am now going to stop sharing because we're going to leave a little bit more of our successes to later. I am now going to introduce our functionaries for the meeting. First, I am your Toastmaster of the day, and then we have our functionaries. First up would be our grammarian. So please, Catherine, would you please tell us the word of the day and explain what your role is for those that may not be aware or familiar with the grammarian's role?
Thank you, GTM Susan. As grammarian of the day, our word of the day is master stroke. Master stroke is the word of the day, and it means an action that is clever and produces success. How you can use this word includes the following. His decision to change the team's formation for the final game was a master stroke. His decision to change the team's formation for the final game was a master stroke. Another way is to say DTM Susan's presentation to show us how this club can reach distinguished status is a master stroke. I will be looking out for great use of the English language today, and we'll be sharing the great ways many of the club speakers and members have used beautiful English for the day. And at the end of the meeting, I will present my report. Back to you, Toastmaster Susan.
Thank you, Catherine. And as is our practice, we might hear the word of the day spoken, and we might click our fingers so that in the event the grammarian is not paying attention, she has an extra way to remember we've said the word of the day. It's just also a little fun to do. And that's what Toastmaster should be, a fun experience. Next, I'd like to introduce our counter for the day. Anna, would you please explain your role?
Okay, thanks, Susan. Hello again, everyone. I'm pleased to be our counter for today's meeting. My responsibility is to find the filler words when you deliver a speech. And at the end of the meeting, I will give you our report. Thanks.
Perfect, thank you. Those are all the filler words we might say before we start a sentence that you would not write when you were writing a sentence, but you say them. So try to avoid that as best we can. If we're aware of it, we can learn the techniques. And thank you, Deanna, for the blessing. Husband sneezing, sorry, God bless you. Thank you for that. Next, we have a timer for today. Arkanat, would you please explain your role today?
Hello, everyone. Greetings. And this is Archana Kamlakar, and I'm happy to be a timer for today's meeting. As a timer, my role today is to time the speeches, prepared speeches, the table topics, and also the evaluations. So I would be flashing 3 kinds of cards. One is red, yellow, and green, depending on the time remaining, which will be an indicator. So here are some guidelines that the speakers need to follow. For prepared speeches, it is 5 to 7 minutes. And when it is 5 minutes, I will flash green card. And when it is 6 minutes, I will flash yellow. And at 7 minutes, I will flash red card. And for table topics, 1 minute will be green and 1.30, 1 minute and 30 seconds would be yellow, and 2 minutes would be red card. And evaluators, please make a note that 2 to 3 minutes will be the time, and green will be flashed at 2 minutes, yellow at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and red will be flashed at 3 minutes. So this will be an indicator for you to continue with your speech based on the remaining time. So I will also present my report at the end of the meeting when my name is called upon. All the best to all the speakers today.
Thank you so very much. Now we are going to go into our educational portion of our meeting. All of our Toastmasters meetings are set up into 3 segments. The first, the educational session made with prepared speeches. Then the impromptu portion, which will be led by Manoj. He'll be giving those impromptu questions. And then we'll follow up with the evaluation portion of our meeting, where our speakers get immediate feedback on the speeches that they've presented, those things that they've done well, they will hear about, and then they will hear opportunities for improvement so they too can learn and grow. But we all listen in to those evaluations because we can all learn from that valuable information. Then we will hear from the functionary reports and close our meeting. It is my great pleasure today to welcome our first evaluator, Sangeetha, who will be giving the evaluation for Piyush. Sangeetha, do you have the information that you may share for Piyush's presentation?
Thank you, DT and Susan. I will be evaluating first speech by Toastmaster Piyush. His purpose is to talk about mentoring at Toastmasters, and it will be his second speech in project Introduction to Toastmaster Mentoring with title My Mentor. He would be incorporating the feedback that he received by previous evaluator and improvising his speech for today's meeting. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Sangeetha. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Piyush with My Mentor. Piyush.
Thank you, Toastmaster Susan. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Let me tell you a little bit of story about myself, and then you'll get to know how I was a great mentee and how I improved my skills and shine. I was born in a village in the state of Bihar, and the primary mode of education and the spoken language was Hindi. That was my medium of instruction in the school until the grade 10th. Once I went to college, which is grade 11th, suddenly the medium of instruction changed to English. And I struggled a lot. Believe me or not, the very first class I attended, I didn't know what subject the professor was teaching. So the language, understanding language was a challenge. Fast forward to my engineering school, it was in a different part of India. And as some of you might know, there are different languages spoken in India. The language that people speak in the north is not the same as what we speak on the south. And I went on the south side from the north side to study engineering in one of the prestigious engineering colleges. And the spoken language there was Tamil. And even the English that people speak there has an impact of the local language. So I'm at my railway station getting down, and I'm asking directions like, hello, sir, can you tell me how do I get to this place? And this person says something, and I say, can you please speak in English? And this person says, I'm speaking in English. I'm like, okay, thank you. So it was English, but heavily toned or kind of accent of Tamil. So yeah, I had faced challenges in a bit of Tamil version of English as well as Tamil while interacting with locals. And it was a problem. I was always seeking help from someone who can teach me a word or two. And some of my friends there were my mentors. Like when we are watching movies, especially the Tamil one, I'll go with a friend and this friend will teach me like, hey, these are the words and this is what it means. And I picked a few words here and there. I moved to Pune, Maharashtra, which is another state in India, for my first job. And thankfully, the spoken language, Marathi, was not very common, and Hindi was something people understood and talked. But there are vigilante groups who would like really persuade me or borderline harass me to speak Marathi. And I faced that issue there, like, hey, you Bihari, why are you here? If you're here, learn Marathi. Like, sure. And when I went to the police station to report this incident, they wrote the report in Marathi and they asked me to sign. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Fast forward to California, which is where English was something that I was using for quite some time, and that's the primary language here. So I didn't face the language bar during my stay here or my work. But then in California, there are also certain areas and there are people who only speak Spanish, and which is where I'm back again. I'm like, yeah, this language, me moving from here and there, it's coming back to me again. I really need someone to coach me and help me understand and learn this language of Spanish. So this is where I found my mentor, and I am yet a good mentee, I would say. I talk to my mentor every day, and my mentor teaches me different words of the Spanish language. He tells me stories and asks me questions about certain words in the stories. He also practiced with me and very respectful of the accent that I bring, because English or Spanish is not my mother tongue. And my mentor is very knowledgeable. Like, he taught me stuff that I didn't know. Like, for example, in English, you would say, you'll use a glass, like the article a for a glass, as well as article a for a cup. But in Spanish, glass is masculine and cup is feminine. So we use different articles. Like for glass, we'll say un vaso. For cup, we'll say una taza. So maybe un and una, depending on the gender of the article or gender of the thing that we are talking about. So yeah, I'm gaining knowledge and I'm showing off a little bit, as you could say. And I have been learning Spanish with the help of my mentor for more than 90 days. And one day I'm in the Walmart and the store manager is talking something like mucho trabajo, mucho cansado. I'm like, oh yeah, I know what she means. She is very busy. She has a lot of work. And like, I know what you're talking about. So yeah, I'm not feeling any more alienated here. And I have the wisdom of knowledge to really understand what people are talking about and even work with them. So my mentor has really helped me to get to a level where I understand few words and I'm able to communicate a little bit, like greetings, like hola, ¿cómo estás? Like, hi, how are you doing? So that's a great progress. And you'll be surprised to know that my mentor is none other than an iPhone application called Duolingo. I'll strongly recommend you to find a mentor, be it an application, be it a person, and this will help you in the goal that you have set for yourself. I will give you 3 tips to find a great mentor. Find a mentor who is a good listener, someone who listens to your issues and acts as a sounding board. Sometimes you just want to talk and have other person listen, and maybe in the process you figure out what the issue was. Second tip, the mentor has to be from that field and would have gone through some of these issues that you're facing. And I'm not saying find someone has a master stroke, mastery in a particular subject or something, but someone who has a couple of years of experience in that field. That way, this person would be able to relate to the problems that you're going through and will be able to provide meaningful feedback on how to get around that or overcome that. The third one is the person should be able to provide feedback in a constructive manner. So someone who's like too negative or too soft doesn't help. So this person should be able to give you the right level of feedback to help you grow. That's the third tip. And speaking of that tip, we all here at Interpersonal Toastmaster are here for you to help you achieve your goal at succeeding in how to communicate in a really good manner. And whatever your goal may be, like speaking casually in social events or in your professional life, in an interview setting, this is a great place. The Toastmaster is a great place to get your skill evolved. So in interpersonal Toastmasters specifically, we focus a lot on your interpersonal skill. So I'll highly encourage you to keep joining us, or even become, if you're a guest, become member here. And it's a collaborative success. We all help each other here. So with that, I'll conclude my speech, and back to you, Toastmaster Susan.
Thank you, thank you. I do notice that our timer has not been on camera, and so we're not able to see. Arcana, are you able to stay engaged with us? If you're showing the cards, you need the camera on, because the timer, the speaker has no opportunity to see the cues from you. So thank you. We'll go forward. Next, we have our second speaker, who will be evaluated by Aparna. Aparna, do you have the information for Alvin and his speech?
Thank you, Toastmaster Susan. We have Alvin Faraz coming up. The title for his speech is Choosing a Career. And as a project, as part of presentation mastery, the path, I think, is persuasive speaking. And the duration, so timer, please note, would be 5 to 7 minutes. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Susan.
Thank you, Aparna. It gives me great pleasure to welcome our guest, Alvin, for his presentation, Choosing a Career. Please help me welcome Alvin.
Thank you so much. Can I share my screen now? Give me a quick second. Let me just very quickly share it. Yes. Do let me know whenever you can see the screen. Is it visible, everyone?
I see a white screen.
Yeah.
Oh,
this
went away. Yeah.
Okay. So let me just begin with telling you, or like by asking you, have you ever faced a difficulty where you were, just fresh out of your school, out of your graduation, and you want to choose the right career, and you're having these bundles of questions in your mind that what is the right career for me? What is the career that suits all of my natural capabilities? What is going to be my master stroke where I can get the maximum benefit out of the natural God-gifted things that have been bestowed upon me? So in order to explain you that in a better manner, let me firstly give you the wonderful research done by Abraham Maslow. So Abraham Maslow is a social scientist who gave us 5 levels of hierarchy, or 5 levels of needs. And he starts off with the physiological needs. These are the very basic necessities that we all need, which include the basic shelter, which include the basic necessities like food, water, sleep, and a comfortable space to live in. Once we qualify that, once we achieve that, then we'll be able to go for the next level, which is called safety. Now here, we want to have a certain amount of bank balance in our account. We want to have a safe place to live. We want to, establish the very next level of necessities that we need in life. And once we are done with that, we need to have a sense of love and belongingness. And right after getting established on making a good achievement in our career, we need to have someone to share that success story with. We need a companion who can make us laugh and who can share our burdens with us. And once we are done with that, the next level comes, which is called esteem. Now here, you want to leave something good. You want to make a good name for yourself. So once that is done, you move on to self-actualization. Now here, this is a project where you become very, very small, but your objectives or your passion, they outgrow you. And let me remind you once again that choosing a career, choosing the right career, can be something which can get you all of these levels easily. For instance, we have Mahendra Singh Dhoni. With his cricketing ability, he was able to satisfy all of his needs, the basic ones. He was able to achieve a great bank balance. He has a wonderful family. His image is amazing, and his name will now live forever. So ladies and gentlemen, my basic recommendation for you is that whatever your career is, try to have something which can satisfy all of these needs. And when it comes to choosing a career, there are three basic factors that we have to understand. First of all, how much cost is it going to require? Secondly, in how much time am I going to achieve all of the things that I want to achieve? And ultimately, what is going to be the return on investment? So money is something which is considered as a great symbol of success. Having how much money in today's world, unfortunately, describes that the level of success that you have achieved. There are many instances where people win a lottery, or publish their song, or they go public with a big company. They make good money, they make amazing amount of money, but they lose it very quickly. So no matter what career you choose, you need to have a little bit of financial literacy. And I say that because you get quick money or you make it with a lot of struggle, there might come a time where you don't know what to do with that. And at that particular level, a financial literacy will help you in a greater manner. So to prove my point a little further, let me give you 5 seconds to understand this diagram here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is the income statement of a poor person. This was recommended by Robert T. Kiyosaki, who has written an amazing book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now, as you can see, that the source of income is only a single job. And the salary that comes in goes in the form of taxes, rent, food, transportation, and clothes. Now, this person has only one source of income, that is his salary, and his income is just outflowing very quickly in the forms of these expenses. Let me share another picture with you. This is the income statement of a middle class person. Now you can see the differences here. Again, he has a single source of earning, that is his job. And Robert T. Kiyosaki says that job is actually the full form of just above broke. So you need to understand this. The expenses are there, but they're different now. He is someone who has a mortgage payment. He's not wasting his money on rent. However, he is utilizing all of his earnings on credit cards, on school loans, and on car payment, which kind of turns out to be liabilities because they're not building up anything for you. Now, here is the masterstroke once again. If you really want to be rich, if you really want to be successful in life, you need to start investing in assets. Now, assets are something that can earn for you, that can give you a source of passive income, that can make money for you. So let's suppose that if I have sufficient amount of money and I invested in bonds or stocks or notes, they will give me some kind of income. And in India, in Pakistan, FD or fixed deposit is something which is quite popular. So once you have achieved that, you have some portion of passive income which starts working for you. Now, if you start working, if you keep working, if you keep going on this particular path, there will be a time where you will be big enough to invest in real estate. And let me tell you, this is where the real dollar comes in. So once you start investing in the real estate, you will be able to generate rental income. And if you keep up on this track, this is something that will happen to you. So for a normal or a middle class person, the income will be equal to expense. However, a rich person will try to develop his income. And how will he do that? By maximizing his assets who are going to earn for him. So his active income, that is going to be his job. His passive income, which means that his assets are working for him, will be working together to build a bigger, better empire for him. If that is accomplished, now this particular slide or this particular presentation covers that you need to become a chartered accountant, but let me change it. to an extent, because chartered accountancy is something which is quite difficult, which everyone cannot do. So let me just change it to a little bit. I would suggest that you need to do something, maybe an MBA, maybe a BBA, maybe any kind of knowledge which helps you build a better financial literacy so that you can understand how to handle your career. And for a country like Pakistan, chartered accountancy is the best of all of these professions. With that, I would like to end my speech. And before I leave, I just want to give you one final thought. Play a master stroke, ladies and gentlemen, and try to learn how to handle money before it starts handling you. Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Alvin. We do appreciate you. You will stop sharing. We appreciate it. We are now going to continue on with the portion of our club success trivia. If I can share once again, slideshow and get back to from the current one. So, did you know that there is an award for the club members who earn 3 Pathways level educational awards by the end of May? And it's open for everyone, level 1, 2, 3, or 2, 3, 4. And we have some successes to share today. We have Grace, who has completed her Path IP, and I'm thinking it's just gone out of my head. I'm sorry, it's gone. 1, 2, and 3. And we have Raghu, who has done strategic relationships, innovative planning, that's the IP, leadership development, strategic relationships. He's earned another DTM, strategic relationships, and then TC, and that's escaping me at the moment as well, coaching. So that's a coaching class. What is it?
Collaboration. Team
collaboration. Sorry, there's 11 of them, and I'm sorry, they just started floating out of my brain today. But if those members in our club earn them by May 31st, they will receive a pin from our district for a triple crown. And wouldn't that be lovely? Some of us are a little closer to it than others. Additionally, in this case, we've had the first half of the year, 7 of our officers were trained. 7. And that means that we earned district credit and the round of 7 officers trained, not only a distinguished club point for 4 officers, but all 7 of them in the first half of the year. Additionally, did you know that this club was stellar? It was a master stroke to title it as stellar because Interpersonal Toastmasters had the privilege of renewing 75% of our members in the first round in October. We had 21 members, 4 new and 16 renewed, and we got our congratulations from our club growth director. It's Raji Benedudi, yes. And then we have some additional goals to look forward to this year, and I'm going to share them with you, if I may. Because we did so well in the first half of the year, I'm going to challenge us to do something similar in the second half of the year. Have all 7 of our officers trained in this next round. And I'm pleased to say we've had 5 already trained, 2 more scheduled for training. They're telling me when they have the training, so I know that we will be there. We've earned the Distinguished Club point, but we want all 7 of our officers because they serve you, the members and guests of this club. Additionally, our goal is 20 members. That means after renewal, we have 20 members plus. I'd like to see that grow. Everybody who here is a guest, please consider helping us with this goal. How can you help us? Well, first off, if you are a member, renew. Please continue your membership. Stay with us, attend the meetings, and renew your membership. Members, you can also invite a friend. Thank you, Aparna, for doing that. Thank you, Anna, for last week inviting a friend. Members can bring friends, and they too will want to join our club. And then, of course, if we have guests, you are invited to join, please do consider joining us. This is a wonderful club. We've earned quite a number of successes so far this year. And with your help and that of the guidance of our officers, inviting members to bring friends and signing up as new members, we can reach that 20 plus and the full President's Distinguished this year. I'm sure we can do it. The next portion of our meeting is our impromptu portion, and that is going to be led by our guest, topic master, Manoj. Please help me welcome Manoj.
Yeah, thank you, Susan. Hi, all. Imagine you're in a big auditorium and there is a huge crowd. And there is suddenly a question is posted to all the audience in the auditorium. And you were sitting in the last row, but you were the first to raise the hand when no one is expecting it. That would be a masterstroke for all the audience who are not actually expecting someone to be coming from the last row. But you are there because you are a Toastmaster. You are prepared for the impromptu with the table topics. So table topics is the session where you'll be given the topics, and impromptu you will create your content, speak for a minute or two. And this will help you in a lot of places where we say interpersonal. You meet new people day in and day out. And if you want to strike a conversation with them, you need to be able to talk impromptu. You meet new people as your clients. And if you want to have their attention, you need to talk impromptu. So there are a lot of benefits, and Toastmasters makes us be prepared for that with table topic session. So here I take the first member. I'll go with the guest Gunjan.
Is Gunjan. Gunjan, can you unmute yourself?
Okay, sorry. Yes, Gunjan.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. So, hi Gunjan. I'll give an easy topic for you to speak on your best holiday memory.
Oh, my best holiday memory. There are so many memories when you go in holidays, but of course, definitely I have some good memories when I visited US with my friends, and that was the first international travel I have done. And the friend, my friend who's hosting us, was like we were like going for 25 days, and we are thinking ki what we will do in 25 days in another country. But when we started, the first day we visited to US, his family has took a floor of apartment for us at Times Square, and they've shifted for 5 6 days, all because we should stay at Times Square and enjoy the happening place of happening things of the Times Square. And the first thing what we have seen, one of the guys hosting someone, definitely a good host. So when we visited there, he has given us a card, a credit card in our name. These are the credit cards. It's add-on cards for you, and you can use this card at anywhere. You can swap anywhere. Nothing to worry about the money and everything. No need to use your dollars. You can use these cards. So this is something very special. You feel when you are going and someone has prepared everything for you. Matlab, when you are going to another country with a very hesitations, when you are going a first international traveling and you don't know about the people, you don't know about the country culture. Might be we definitely we know about the cultures and all, but there's always hesitation in international traveling. I feel that was my first experience I have visited. Then we had been to visited many places in US, and that was something his time. Even he has not left me for a single day. He has took the leave for 25 days, and we all friends have visited this Grand Canyons and east coast of the US, west coast of the US, and it was memorable experience I have in my life where I visited. I had a great host with me. So I always feel that I should have this kind of hosting, and I should cultivate this kind of hosting in me too. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Gunjan. It's very nice to know, and it's very kind of a rare thing to have such a host where they'll be there by taking leave and taking you across the country. It's very good to know, and you have a great experience there.
Manoj,
So,
Diana wants to try a topic. Can you
yes,
send her
yes,
in
yes,
chat?
yeah,
Sure, thanks.
yeah. I've just seen that. Okay, so Diana, I will give you okay, interpersonal skill you learned in Toastmasters. What is interpersonal skill you learned in Toastmasters? So as Diana types in the chat, so why don't I pick Raghu for the next topic?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah. Will AI, artificial intelligence, kill creativity? What is your take on it? Will artificial intelligence kill creativity?
Will AI create the creativity? In recent upgrade in Toastmaster International website, are you
No,
able
the
to hear
question
me?
is, will AI kill creativity, not create? Kill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Will AI kill the creativity?
Yeah.
In the recent upgrade in Toastmaster International website, there was this upgrade where it was mentioned that you can record your speech and Toastmaster International will start giving you suggestions, whether it is your account or whether it is how you can improve, blah, 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 everything. But if somebody went ahead and they tried to get a speech out of the AI, means people always outsmart the AI. They make it as a slave and get things done. But the other part, if people get their speeches out of AI, nobody has to work hard, right? That reminds me of a couple of years back, maybe about 1.5, 2 years back, somebody approached me from one of the clubs in Pune, asking me, Raghu, can you please share your past speeches? I want to share on a website so that people can look at it, use it as a sample, and work on the upcoming speeches. And I said, if I'm sharing that, I'm killing somebody's creativity, because these are my stories, my personal stories. If somebody looks at it and they are not able to write their own speeches, they are killing, and I'm the one who is responsible for it. Is AI killing the creativity? Probably yes, probably no. It's all up to how you use it. Knife is in the kitchen, good for cutting. Knife in somebody's hand is used for murder. Somebody uses for butchering. Somebody uses for cutting trees. It's all up to the person. AI is not responsible for anything. It is the human being who are responsible for what is going to happen with the AI, the power of AI in the hands. Topic master.
That's a very good take, Raghu. Yeah, the power of AI or the power of new tech, it all depends on how we use that. That's a very good take. Thanks, Raghu, for that wonderful insight. So I would take, so any guests who want to volunteer next?
Jones has raised his
Jones.
hand.
Yeah, I think Jones has raised his hand. So Jones, would you come on the camera? Yeah. So Jones, the topic for you is problem solving is an everyday occurrence in life. Problem solving is an everyday occurrence in life. What's your take on it?
Thank you very much, table topic master. What an interesting topic. When I was growing up, as young as 15 years old, I never thought of that life is full of challenges. Life is full of troubles. But the way we are as human beings, we are wired in such a way that our mindsets must be prepared and ready to solve today's troubles. Problem solving, is it part of our lives? Looking at the world is moving at the moment. Life is changing very fast. Things are being innovated. Therefore, each and every person must take a master stroke to ensure that we achieve our goals. You know, back in the days, we used to depend on the systems, on computers to solve problems. If you are part of the 21st century, you ensure that every day when you wake up, I was actually talking to my wife yesterday when she gave me a list of the items that we needed to buy for our guests because we are having a party this coming weekend. The list was full of items that I didn't budget for. It became a problem for me. It really became a problem. Why? Because it was outside the budget. So what we did is we sat down on the table to solve a problem. We have 50 guests, and the money that we have is not enough to cater for those 50 guests. How do we do? So we kept thinking through on how we can go ahead with the party. Now, this calls for teamwork when it comes to problem solving. I had to pick her mind, then I had to flood my mind as well, so that we reach a consensus. The problem was resolved amicably through teamwork, listening, as well as taking the next course of action. Problem solving is an integral part of our lives. You'll agree with me that nowadays, if you look at any job description, any job advert, there is a master stroke there. Employers are asking for problem solvers. Why? Because the world is dynamic, the world is changing so fast. I'm urging you, if you're not a problem solver, please, can you acquire that skill as soon as possible? Because you'll be left behind. Each and everyone in the world is looking for a problem solver. Are you a problem solver? Thank you.
Thank you, Jones. It's a very nice take where if we are not a problem solver, we need to start acquiring that skill. Yes, in the day-to-day life, we all face problems and we need to develop the skill of problem solving if we are not good at it. That's what keeps us moving forward. So I'll take one last topic. Yeah, Dian, after this, I'll read out yours. Who would come? Jim, would you? The less you speak, the more you hear. As a Toastmaster, how do you justify this? The less you speak, the more you hear. As a Toastmaster, how do you justify this, Jim?
The less you speak, the more you hear. What that means to me is you must be a great listener. And listening must be intentional on your part. And as a Toastmaster, it has also meant going into situations and really being committed to hearing what those around you are saying, particularly those who tend to be quiet and who may be not as talkative. They may need to be drawn out more. If they see that there's someone there willing to listen, that may do the trick. That may make a person feel comfortable enough to speak when they might not have thought going into the Toastmasters situation that they would be speaking. Listening is key. And those who make it the main priority, they will be committing the masterstroke of facilitating communication in ways not thought of before. So yes, that's what that statement means to me. Listening is at the heart of it. Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Jim. Listening is the heart of it. Very good take. Thanks for your tip on that.
Sure.
So we have Diana has given us the topic which I have given Diana is interpersonal skill you learned in Toastmasters. So here is her take. I have a skill that lesson from 2000 at this Toastmaster Masterstroke Club. I want to improve my Masterstroke speech on a Zoom meeting, Masterstroke. My disability is very hard and I can't speak. And I can use typing on chat box, Masterstrokes all the time. So Diana, wherever I've been to couple clubs where you are a guest, you are the person whom I see the best usage of the word of the day. And it's again proved today. Thank you for your speech, Diana. And that's it from me. Over to the Toastmaster of the day, Susan. Thank you.
Super. Thank you so very much for all those who participated. Next, we go into the feedback portion of our meeting, the evaluation segment. And at this time, we're going to first welcome our first evaluator, Sangeeta, who will be evaluating Piyush. Please help me welcome Sangeeta.
Thank you, DTM Susan. Yes, it was a wonderful speech, Toastmaster Piyush. I see that you have incorporated feedback from your previous speech. I see that you have improved in speech delivery. You have worked on pauses. That was one of your feedback. And also another feedback you received was to directly get into the story and not talk about your agenda or structure for your speech. So this was good. You directly start talking about how you started with your life in Bihar and then to Tamil Nadu. So that was a good start to your speech. Overall, I found it interesting. You kind of took us, walked us through your journey of, Bihar to Tamil Nadu to Pune and then to California, and how you had to deal with language at every place, not only in India, but also in US, where it's predominantly English speaking, and yet you had to, experience the Spanish, learn Spanish, and how you kept us curious about who your mentor would be, who your mentor is. So, and finally, we were all awed to hear that it was Duolingo. That was good way of keeping the audience interested. It was light. You also had a light tone to your speech where you did make a few statements to bring out humor in your speech. And I like that you summarized the three qualities to look in a mentor, telling about what to look for in a mentor: to have listening skills, being knowledgeable, or to be able to give a constructive feedback. So it was a very informative as well. There's something to take away from your speech, and given speech about your own experience. It was your own journey that you shared with us. Thank you for this speech, Toastmaster Piyush.
Thank you so very
Back
much.
to you, Toast. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Sangeeta. Next up, we have Aparna, who will be evaluating Alvin. Please help me welcome Aparna.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. I am not able to see the timer cards at all, so I'm going to try and make sure I stick to time. So, Alvin, lovely guidance there in terms of a career and how do you choose a career. So that was, I was listening really eagerly because I think I'm one of those people who meanders and I'm still not sure what career I choose or I would like to choose. So thank you. I think I got some great tips today. To look at the speech that you talked about, I loved the way you started off with a question for the audience. So that was nice. Everyone was eagerly listening. You've got great pace in spite of being on camera and of course the slide. So I saw you in a little box, but I could see you were so engaged and your hands were visible on that camera. So that helped. So that worked for me, definitely. And you had me in there. I liked the way you were structured and most important, that educational piece on saying work on the assets. And what a nice structural way to use Maslow. I'd never imagined somebody could make use of Maslow to talk about a career, really. I've always looked at Maslow and people. So there was a lot of learning there from that piece. In my evaluation, the way I'm sharing it with you is, of course, what has worked for me and what I feel. So it's purely my view on where things could have been better. So having shared what I think worked for you, I'd like to put across a couple of recommendations which you would want to consider maybe. The Maslow slide was a wonderful idea, an absolute masterstroke to put out there. I would have been happier if there was a little lesser data on that slide. Maybe just the titles would have helped, saying physiological, and as you moved up. The pictures were lovely too in that pyramid that you'd drawn. And since you speak so well, I think it would have just helped for you to express, because I was a little caught up in looking at all the stuff on the slide, and a couple of times I thought I missed what you were saying. So perhaps a little less would have worked there. I would have liked or appreciated a little more transition from one thing into the other. I felt there was a bit of a blend and I kept waiting, saying, okay, where's the career going? So last, when you came with that chartered accountant, I was attempting to link it somewhere. So linkages would have helped, saying what got you to, though you did bring it up, saying it's an important career in India and Pakistan. So that helped, but somewhere that would have worked better. And the transition perhaps would have also made that end not seem so abrupt. So that would have helped had you transitioned it. And the final one from me as a recommendation, the third recommendation to you would be, especially when we talk about an international space, perhaps it would help to give examples that worked in the international space. And I'd probably take it a little more offline if you'd like a little more detailing around that. But it was wonderful, since this is your first attempt at an international club here. I think it was all brilliant. Keep at that pace, great communication, wonderful clarity. So continue to do what you do so well. And thank you so much. I hope the evaluation helps you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Susan.
Thank you so much, Aparna. We all benefit from the wisdom that you share. Next, we're going to hear from our tag team. And although the order on the agenda says grammarian, counter, and timer, I'm going to go to the timer first. Let's do that. So please, Archana, how did we do?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I would say today's session was a masterstroke with all the great speeches and the table topics. Here I am with the timer report. And first, I would like to apologize. This is the first time I'm taking a timer role, and it took me a little while to figure out. So for the speaker one, I could not actually time. But after that, I ensured that I follow all the timing rules after Susan definitely pointed, she recommended on the screen. So here I am. For speaker one, as I mentioned, I could not track, but speaker two, Alvin, 9 minutes and 10 seconds. And table topics, Gunjan, 2 minutes, 2 minutes and 3 seconds. And Raghu, 2 minutes, 02. Jones, 3 minutes, 39 seconds. Jim, 1 minute, 48 seconds. And for evaluators, Sangeeta, evaluator 1, Sangeeta, 2 minutes and 23 seconds. And evaluator 2, Aparna, 3 minutes, 36 seconds. So this is a timer report from my side. Do we need any more detailing on this side?
I'm sorry?
Do we need any more detailing? Like,
no, you're fine. You're fine. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Once you got the hang of, we have to see you in order to see you. That's fine. It all works out fine. Deanna, I'm sorry. I don't believe we timed you because it was the reading of our Manoj giving your recap. So we don't have a time for you. I'm sorry. That was not in the just instructions that we gave Manoj. So that's fine. Or Akana. Next, we're going to go for our A counter. Anna, how did we do?
Thanks, Susan. Hello, everyone. Here is my report. Erwin, you use 1 time. Sanjita, you use, I think you use more than 5 times when you give the evaluation. So I think that is also my problem. We need to work on that. And for the other people, you did a good job. I didn't catch any video words when you deliver the speech. And also I would like to thank Erwin's suggestion for the introduction, because before I don't have the courage to I'm not familiar with this club, but I didn't have the courage to open this meeting. So thanks for, and also I get to know this club, all of you. Thanks for your suggestion. Back to TOM, Susan.
Yes, thank you so much. And the reason I went out of order, you might realize, we call it the tag team, the timer, the A counter, and the grammarian. And the reason for that is it's a master stroke of design so that even the A counter and the timer have the opportunity to use the word of the day. Isn't that brilliant? So now we'll hear from our grammarian. Catherine, did we sneak a few extra in for you? Our grammarian, Catherine.
Sorry, I think I was unmuted. Thank you so much, DT and Susan. Toastmasters and guests, I bring tidings of great joy. There has not been a meeting like this one where almost everybody used the word of the day. So congratulations, Toastmasters and guests. Master stroke has become a tongue twister for most of us. But I really want to celebrate Deanna for using this word as much as possible. Deanna, thank you, thank you. I also want to celebrate Alvin, Piyush, Suzanne, Jones, Manoj, and Jim for using the word of the day. If I have forgotten a person who has used the word of the day, please receive my apologies. But thank you, Deanna, for using the word of the day. Today, I would like to also celebrate people who spoke and used the English language with aplomb. I'm going to quote some of the beautiful uses of the language that we had today. It was music to my ears. Piyush, learning with the help of, be it a person, be it an application. Act as a sounding board. Get your skills to evolve. Alvin, bestowed upon, financial literacy. To prove my point a little further. Manoj, day in, day out. Raghu, probably yes, probably no. That was music. Jones, resolved amicably, calls for teamwork. Jim, listening must be intentional and committed to hearing, which I had, and I think I may need help is to think about this. And this is in reference to Manoj, talking impromptu. Should we use talking impromptu or speaking impromptu? It is something I'll still like us to think about and find out what the correct way to say it is. I'd rather say impromptu. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day. Here's my report.
Thank you so very much, Catherine. We did a fabulous job. I will announce to my officers we will not meet today after the meeting, since this meeting has run a little bit over. We want to be respectful for you all. The evaluators will send off their written evaluations to the speakers so that they have their benefits. And at this time, I'd like to get the signups for our next meeting. Grace, who is our Vice President of Education, is not here, but guests don't go away because we still want to get feedback from you. But I want to find out the roles for next week. We were going to start off with our Toastmaster of the Day, who will decide the theme. We can have 2 speakers and all of the other roles. So please, who would like to offer us